Hello friends, welcome to my channel SushantChessWise. Today we are at the next topic, that is we are going to discuss how to improve our planning in chess. For that we can take games of simple positional themes to begin with that will help us understand what are the important strategic elements like we did before: control of open file, rook on 7th rank. Today we are going to discuss how to use an outpost. So this is the position with us, white to play it is. So we will try to see how the master player tries to make a plan. These games are, see, not very easy. I am trying to take intermediate level lessons. At the same time, I am trying to keep the examples somewhat simple. It will help us understand how to plan during the games. So the main aspect of any plan is generally we try to improve our piece placings and play the game according to the important positional factors which are there in the game. Like here, see the square d5 for which the whole fight is going on. See, black wants the move d5 and white with all his pieces, see, is trying to control the square d5 as you can see. If black manages to get d5, it will be very good for him. He might even become better. So white's focus was to stop d5. The knight c went to b5 and black played the move queen a4. That was his last move. White now thinks of eliminating this bishop and get the control of the square d5, for which he thinks of the pawn sacrifice, the move c4. See, a stunning move. Why? Because if these pair of bishops are eliminated, then a knight can sit on the d5 square. But it requires some more further planning, and today's example is mainly dealing with how to use calculation within the plan. So this move c4 I am giving you so that you can try to think why white gave up the pawn. Meanwhile, let me show you after the move nd6, which looks very natural, white loses a piece. See, here comes ne8. The pinned knight is in great difficulty. Bishop c5, only way to protect. And after knight takes, bishop takes bf8, we see it's almost impossible to save the bishop. White can consider qb4, but then to see either black has just qb4 right now or the stunning move rook d6. Small piece of tactics. If the queen takes a4, then rd1 mates, and if rook takes rook first, then black goes queen b4 like the previous line, and after ab bd6 is just a piece up and winning. So let's go back to c4 here. After c4, of course black took bishop c4, and now see white wanted to use his knight on the d5 square. So knight c3 double attack pinpoints the squares a4 and d5. So queen moves to b3, keeping the bishop on c4. This needed support. Okay. So bishop takes, queen takes, and now you see the main square is d5, for which white had made a plan. He wants the knight on d5 and he goes with bg5. The main key ingredient, two things white is having in mind. One, the knight will settle on the d5 outpost. Square on an open file which is supported by a pawn is called an outpost. See, this way. And next is the concept of bad bishop here. After bishop into knight, black will be left with the bishop which is blocked by its own center pawns which are fixed on d6 and d5. So black went queen e6 in the game, and his idea was after bf6 he wanted to take with the queen. We will see why, but let's assume black would have played bf6 here. Still nd5, c3 is knight c7, so rook c8, and now comes g4. Slightly better than h4 because black may have h5, but even h4 is good. So g4, bishop goes away, and now comes h4. See, it's very difficult to stop this plan. The pawn is heading to h5, the queen is eyeing to go to see h2 square, and things are going to become very difficult. So this is a great position, clearly better for white. And look at black's bishop and the rook. Both will struggle for some more time. So black went queen f6. Idea was after nd5 to play queen h4 so that white cannot push his h and the g pawns. The advance g4 is useless now, and h4 is stopped by this queen. But very artificial way, we can say for black. So now our task is to find the best plan for white. How can white improve his king side? How can he look to gain advantage? White goes for a very strange maneuver here. First, let us see if instant g3, there is just say queen h3, queen settles on h3. Maybe soon black will get his rooks to c8, he can double, bishop goes to f8, control c7. Still black is worse, but white is not getting things which he wanted. Okay. So white went with the strange move, queen e2. The queen is now see heading towards f1. Why? Let us see. So first see bishop f8 is necessary. If rook c8 then g3, and now see queen has to leave the e7 square, and after queen h3 and e7 is fork and white would win. So bf8 first, and now the move see queen f1. This was the plan. See, plan is a series of unforced moves. This way white is set to play g3 and h4 without allowing the black queen to go to h3. So rook c8, g3, queen g5, and once again what would you play as white? Always you will note that a good plan is accompanied by small tactical touches. See here, white played the move h4. Many weaker players would never consider this as good because of queen g3, right? And this was the problem even which I had first 2-3 years. This is what happens when we try to make a plan, the tactics fails. If we try to make tactics, then there is no plan. Merging both is very difficult. See, masters are very good in merging them. See, now after queen g3, white does rook d2, and see how the queen on g3 is trapped. So small tactical ideas are integral part of this kind of planning. See, if rook c5, there is rook g2, the queen is trapped. So after h4, queen has to go to h6, white goes g4. Things have really now become very, very difficult. Threat is now to go see just g5 followed by knight f6 and h5. Very difficult now. Let's see if rook c5, then see g5, qg7, knight check, king h8, h5. Now the threat is to go h6, trapping this queen. So bishop makes way, but after hg, see the square, h7 is terribly weak, and next move would be rh7. White would be winning. So black goes g5 himself, and now you must have noted it's winning. H takes g5, of course. qg5, white finds the simple rook h5, queen is attacked. Queen goes back to g6. And see, normally one would go for this plan, queen h3 followed by rh1. But white has a very strong move here. In 2 or 3 moves, white concluded the game. See, he goes g5. Superb move. See, the knight cannot be stopped from going to f6, because if bg7, you see that ne7, knight fork, and the queen is lost. Suppose queen h5, then of course you must have seen knight f6 check, picking the queen. It's once again a knight fork, and finally black tried h6, to which once again rook h6. See, small tactical ideas, and the position is getting converted. So this helps white open the h file. See, if bh6, then knight e7 check, and the queen is lost. So queen g5. Now once again rook h5, very strong, attacks the queen, gains tempo, qg6, and the final finishing blow, not queen h3 but queen h1. See, the threat is rook g1, this queen would get pinned, and there is hardly anything. Let's say if queen e6, then rook check, kg7, qh7 mates, and if any other move like qg7, then rg1, and see multiple threats, knight f6 mate or the rook heading to h8 is checkmate. So the black player here decided to resign after qh1. So I am going to continue this series. We are going to see small examples here, how the planning is done, how a player improves the pieces considering or taking the positional factors in mind. I hope you are liking these lessons. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.